Thanks to this fat the US Senate has gotten rid of their dress code. You thought pajamas and underwear for Zoom calls during COVID was bad. Or full-on wanking if you're Jeffrey Toobin. Well, COVID lockdowns might be over, at least until the election, but dressing like a freaking slob is here to stay.
The Senate will stop enforcing its formal dress code. No official reason has been given, but many point to one man for the changes, and you're looking at him right there. Pennsylvania Democrat John Fetterman, well known for sporting hoodies and shorts instead of a suit and tie. Well, some of the more formal senators say Fetterman's look shouldn't lead to more lax standards.
I feel it's, a little more freedom, which should be bipartisanship, you know what I'm saying? So, but I don't know why the right side seems to be losing their minds over it, like, dogs and cats are living together and, like the world's spinning off its axis. But, I think it's a good thing.
To see it completely downgraded, no dress code now, I just think it's another step in the wrong direction.
Republican Senator Susan Collins mocked the new rules, saying that she planned to wear a bikini on the Senate floor today. Dress code changes do not apply to staffers and others who may appear on the Senate floor, meaning that they'll have to still dress up.
Then again, Chuck Schumer probably wants to wear his own clothes too. And John Fetterman fired back with the standard response of "What about Republicans?" saying, "I figure if I take up vaping and grabbing the hog during a live musical, they'll make me a folk hero." To be fair, that's pretty funny, even though John Fetterman hasn't even seen the hog in the last 20 years. But back to the dress code stuff. First off, dress codes do matter. How you present yourself in a workplace says a lot about how seriously you take the job. If your doctor turned up in flip-flops and a towel, you'd probably ask to see someone else. If your priest showed up to a funeral dressed as the Grim Reaper, that might turn a few heads. If your pilot showed up wearing a Dallas Cowboys jersey, you'd get the hell off that Spirit flight as fast as you can. And also, dress codes matter because tradition matters. Democrats can't stop going on and on about January 6th as a national assault on the sacred seat of democracy, but they have no problem with people showing up like they're 6 beers in on a Sunday morning. But the problem here isn't just that the Senate is changing its laws to suit one man, the problem is the man himself. Now, most of the time, the criticisms you're going to hear about John Fetterman are to do with his obvious mental collapse, but let's be honest, being brain dead doesn't disqualify you from office these days. If anything, it's a prerequisite.
Now, even as we evolve our institutions and drive creative new partnerships, let me be clear. Certain principles of our international system are sacrosanct.
And if you have a problem with the fact that John Fetterman somehow won his Senate race, you should also ask questions as to why Donald Trump pushed Dr. Oz as his opponent. Now, the real problem I have with John Fetterman isn't that he dresses like a bum necessarily. It's the reason he dresses like a bum. The truth is, these aren't his real clothes. They're his costume. He's a massive fraud. John Fetterman has tricked his entire voting base into thinking he's just like them by wearing what he thinks the average American wears. For John Fetterman, every day is Halloween, and every day his costume is his idea of a stereotypical blue-collar American. Except the stereotypical blue-collar American works hard, and John Fetterman does not. Now, most fake socialists sponge off their parents during their teenage years, and maybe during college, and at least till grad school, but John Fetterman did it until he was 49 years old. He's such a blue-collar American that Mummy and Daddy supported him and his whole family for the entire 13 years he was mayor of Braddock, living in a loft that his sister bought for him. So if you're offended that John Fetterman is wearing a hoodie and shorts to the Senate to represent the people of Pennsylvania, I get it. But the reason he's doing this should offend you far more. Why does John Fetterman dress like a slob? Because that's what he thinks of the people he represents.